So, is it official now that Bandai Namco just have the worst community management of any organization on the face of the earth? Man, this whole thing started out kind of sad and confusing, but it was really funny by the end, and I'm having a great day right now. I'm going to have so much fun going through all the comments and the trolling that are going to be happening online in response to the announcement that was just made. So in case you missed this whole thing, today we had another fighting game publishers panel or whatever. And what this is right now we don't have any major events or tournaments for fighting games. So the publishers can't get on stage and do the whole Steve Jobs oh and one more thing style announcements when they want to show new content for their games. So what they've decided to do instead, these companies, is get together in like a circle jerk to boost their collective viewership and then make all their announcements together on a stream. Now, I didn't watch the last one, so I didn't know what to expect, but today I had a rare day off, so I actually tuned in and I sat down when it started, and 20 minutes into the thing, I was really confused. I made a community post on my YouTube page because I'd been watching for 20 minutes and they hadn't said a single relevant thing yet. They'd been talking about all the things they were maybe going to talk about, and they were fucking around talking about like how it's difficult to go to the grocery store during the pandemic. Complete bullshit and a complete waste of time. And then I looked at the screen and it said that actual announcements were going to start 1 hour into the broadcast. I didn't even realize it was going to be that long. So at that point it just felt silly to me. So I went outside and had a nice walk, and then I came back later for the announcements. Now, the way to do that, as far as I can tell, I mean, obviously, even to a small child, I mean, obviously, the way to do that is information up front. If you have trailers, if you have announcements, you show those first. You give people who have come to the stream relevant information, and then if you want to sit around for an hour sucking each other's cocks, talking about how much fun it is to be a well-compensated marketing executive in the fighting game industry, then you can do that, and the very few people who are interested in that part of the stream can stick around for that. And I think an interesting consequence of doing it that right way around is you will notice that basically nobody sticks around for that second hour, which is a strong indication that maybe you don't have to do that part of the stream at all. I know some people are like interested in the fighting game industry and think it's interesting to listen to these people talk, but I think for the vast majority of people, the Guilty Gear fans were there for the 10 seconds or whatever of actual Guilty Gear news. The Tekken fans were there for the actual Tekken announcement. But we were made to sit through this like impossibly long stream of complete bullshit to get to the actual information, which was a huge troll. But then we get to the actual announcement, and this is where it just becomes complete comedy. The funniest thing to me was Eris's reaction. It's what I have open on the screen right here. But the announcement for Tekken starts, right? And they start showing footage, not like in-game footage, not 3D footage of a Tekken stage, like actual footage taken with a video camera of a city in Poland, I guess maybe Warsaw or Krakow. And then they cut to an existing Tekken stage with a car standing on it. A character steps out of the car, we see her chin for like less than a second, and then the announcement just ends, and Eris was like, what? And I laughed for maybe 10 minutes, and then I sat down to record this. I'm in a great mood right now. I mean, people have been making fun of Japanese fighting game publishers for a long time for just how catastrophically and comically out of touch they are when it comes to community management. But with the right perspective, it actually just becomes really, really funny because they are complete fucking clowns at this point, and they reliably keep doing these things, so it becomes very entertaining. Hopefully it doesn't carry too many negative consequences for the actual games in the long run, but for now it was just really hilarious. Now, as soon as the announcement was over, the first thing Harada said was, well, we're going to have more and cooler stuff really soon, like a real trailer, right? But that means that he knew that the announcement was shit and that he needed more. So if you knew that, the obvious answer, right, is to not take part in the panel to say, we don't have the trailer prepared for some reason, even though we had a bunch of time leading up to this. We're not ready, and people are going to be very upset and confused if all we show is a fucking JPEG of a chin, so maybe we'll sit this one out and do our own thing later on. We're basically the only fighting game that people play at this point, so we might as well do our own thing. We don't really have to jump in the pool with these other publishers, if we're going to be completely honest. But instead, they decided to do it this way, completely tone deaf, completely out of touch. And the fact that they didn't seem to know that the reaction was going to be this, is just, again, really funny to me. Now, moving on to the actual character, I have a picture of her down here. That's her chin. It's all we saw of her. But what little we saw was actually really cool. It's a Polish character. I have a lot of love for Poland. We have a lot of Polish people in Sweden, and one of my best friends who I learned Tekken together with is Polish. He's probably going to be very excited about this. I'm going to call him once I'm done recording this. And another really cool thing is that it seems to be another Tekken original character, which I wasn't expecting, because yesterday Harada was tweeting from Sega headquarters, and we were speculating that maybe that was a hint that there was going to be a Sega guest character. I think Sega have Yakuza, I think Sega have Virtua Fighter, so maybe Harada was dropping hints and getting the hype going. We were giving him way too much credit. He's obviously not, based on this whole thing, that good at his job. It's an original character. We've had many original characters recently with Leroy and Falcon Ram, so at this point, maybe start preparing for your favorite Tekken character not being in the base roster of the next game. We just have so many Tekken characters now that there's no way, I mean, even half of them probably can be included in the base roster of the next game, unless you play like one of the core characters like King. Maybe start hedging your bets. But there is going to be a trailer showing actual gameplay, maybe a face and a name for the character soon. And I actually think that's kind of exciting, because this is more exciting to me than a Virtua Fighter or Yakuza character. I'm completely disinterested in those franchises, never tried them, and I have no interest in ever trying either of them. Just completely unappealing to me as a gamer. Maybe it's your thing, I don't know, maybe this disappoints you. But I think it looks pretty cool, and it has potential based on this, still frame, which is basically all we got. So really funny. More information hopefully in the near future. Let me know what you thought about this whole thing, and we'll rendezvous back here once we have an actual trailer for this new character. I said in a couple of videos last year that I'm not going to buy this DLC character, at least not until we know that she's well balanced, and I don't think that's something we should count on, because I've been criticizing Namco's marketing, community management, and monetization for like a year and a half now. I think it's been morally reprehensible the way they've been doing things, and I don't give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to new characters anymore, because they fucked up with Leroy, they fucked up with Falcon Ram, in my opinion, fucked up again with Kunimitsu. I know people have different opinions about her. Seems to be about a 50-50 split on that character, but I think she's more of the same problem. So I'm probably not going to buy this character just because I'm not comfortable with the way Namco have been doing things, but in terms of like what the character could potentially be, this is more interesting to me than I thought it would be, because I thought it would be a Sega guest character. There you go. If you're upset about this whole thing, I guess my tip would be, if you look at it the right way, it's just really funny. And we'll keep playing Tekken anyway. And who's surprised at this point? They are complete fucking clowns. Talentless fucking clowns. And they keep making the same mistake every single time they do anything. They are horrible at this. And it's really, really funny. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a great day. It's a beautiful day here in Japan. I'm going to have another walk, I think. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are too. And I'll see you guys again once we have some more news. Bye-bye for now.